Welcome to the Navigating Career Paths workshop presented by WorkSource Spokane. Today, we are going to create a personal profile to guide your job search, research and use online resources to link you to careers, and explore 5 targeted industries in Spokane County. So let's get started by taking a look at your dream job. Dream job isn't exactly an occupation, it's more about the things we value. These are important things to know about yourself. What kind of leadership style do you prefer? Workspace, flexibility, feeling valued. These are all things to consider when thinking about your dream job. Take a minute and pause the video. At this time, pause the video and think about your dream job. Write down some things that describe it. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What environment or what type of culture is important to you? And what type of leadership would you like to work in? So go ahead and pause the video and write down some of those things. Knowing what you value in a career will help guide your search and help you know yourself better. Knowing yourself and what you value will help you focus your job search on work environments where you are most likely to be happy and successful, and occupations that will be fulfilling and rewarding to you. So let's take a minute and get to know you. This is another time where you can pause the video, and when you do, think about and write down some roles in your life that have made you feel proud, energized, or excited. Then write down a description of those roles. After you're done, go back and circle any keywords that stand out. Do you see any themes or patterns develop? And when you're done with that, write yourself a motivational statement. I feel proud or energized when. So go ahead and pause the video and do those things now. So now that you know yourself and what you want in a dream job, it's easy, right? Just go out there and follow your passion. That sounds like good advice. It may be common advice, but that doesn't make it good. Because what does follow your passion even really mean? Click on the link in the description box below to view a video and see what Mike Rowe has to say about following your passion. Then come back here to continue. So now that you've heard from Mike Rowe, I'd like you to pause the video and write down some takeaways from what you just watched. So go ahead and pause now. All right, so what were some of the takeaways that you came up with from Mike Rowe's presentation? Here's some things that I'd like you to focus on. Mike talked to us about the skills gap. The skills gap is very real and creating a lot of trade and apprenticeship opportunities. Speaking of opportunities, Mike Rowe made some good points about missing out on opportunities due to tunnel vision. There's a difference between focus and tunnel vision. It's important to keep in mind the dirty truth that our passions and our abilities do not always align. But the good news is that passions can be developed through hard work and honing a skill. But ultimately, passion is too fickle to follow around. So let's continue getting to know yourself and what you enjoy. So what do you enjoy doing? At this time, you're going to take a minute and write down some of the things that you enjoy. Some of them may be job related, some may not. So go ahead, take a minute, pause the video, and just jot down some things that you enjoy. Okay, now that you've done that, let's go back next to each one of the things that you enjoy and write down why you enjoy doing that thing. So go ahead and pause the video and go back and write down why you enjoy doing each of the things that you enjoy. All right, now that we know what we enjoy and why we enjoy doing it, why is this exercise even important? Well, we're going to let Simon Sinek explain the value of knowing your why. Keep in mind while watching that this video is geared more towards corporations and sales, but try to watch it through the lens of yourself and through the lens of a job seeker. Check the description box below for the link to Simon's video, then come back here to discuss. All right, so what were some of the takeaways that you got from that video? Go ahead, take a minute and write some down. Okay, so while this video was focused more on marketing and sales, why is it relevant for job seekers? What are you selling? You're selling yourself, and if you don't, then no one else will. And for a lot of us, this is a hard thing to do. We're just not geared for self-promoting. And those of us who are, generally, we don't like them very much. But in this situation, you have to sell you. And to do that effectively, you need to know your why and start communicating that effectively so that you can get in touch with that part of the brain that controls decision making. By knowing and understanding your why, you will also be able to broaden your job search and not miss out on the opportunities that Micro was talking about. Now that you have done some introspection to get to know yourself a little bit better, let's take some assessments to help guide your search. Assessments are a guide, not a precise science. The goal isn't to provide you with answers, but rather some direction, or at least ideas to spark some direction. You will take 3 assessments, one based on your interests, one based on your skills, and the third to help identify your own personality type. So at this time, open another web browser tab and go to WorkSourceSpokane.com. When you get to WorkSourceSpokane.com, hover your mouse over Job Seeker and then click on Assessments. Now scroll down to the click here under Interest Assessments. There will be 3 pages with 10 questions on each page. After answering all 30 questions, it will generate a list of recommended jobs based on your interests. This list can be printed or emailed using the 2 icons in the upper left corner. There's also a graph in the upper left corner. By clicking on Details, you can see an expanded view with an explanation of what all those letters mean. This can also be printed or emailed using the appropriate icons. You can explore this information now or save it for later. All right, now we're going to move on and take a skills assessment. You can leave that window open where your interest assessment is for future reference and just go back to the WorkSource Spokane window and then scroll down and this time click on the Click Here box below the skills assessment. Then you're going to start the skills matcher. And this assessment has more questions and will take a bit longer. When you're finished, it will create a list of career recommendations based on your perceived skills. Again, you can print or email this list to yourself. Now you can explore both lists and pay special attention to any career suggestions that show up on both lists. All right, now that we've explored some interest assessments and skills assessments, the final assessment today is personality-based. Open a new window and go to 16personalities.com. Click on Take the Test, and then scroll down to begin taking the assessment. At the end, follow the prompts to view your personality type. On the left side of the screen, 2 areas to focus on are career paths and workplace habits. Take a minute to read about what the assessment has to say about each of these. Decide for yourself whether or not you think it was accurate. Feel free to explore all of the information provided regarding your perceived personality type. Now that we have done some introspection about who you are and taken some assessments to examine your interests, skills, and personality, let's take a look at the top 5 targeted industries in Spokane. But first, we should define what is meant by a targeted industry. A targeted industry is one that is in demand and pays a livable wage where we live. Targeted industries are those that can improve the quality of life in their community by offering self-sufficient employment through job growth. So, what do you think is the number 1 targeted industry in Spokane County? The number 1 targeted industry right here where we live is, of course, healthcare and social assistance. This is one of the fastest growing industries in Spokane County. In the past 5 years, over 4,000 healthcare and social assistance related jobs have been created locally, and strong continued job growth is forecasted for this sector. Spokane is the regional hub for healthcare in eastern Washington and northern Idaho, with a diverse cluster of hospitals, research facilities, labs, education, and clinics. Spokane is now home to two separate medical schools, the Washington State University Medical School on Riverfront campus, and a University of Washington and Gonzaga University joint venture on the Gonzaga campus. As the baby boomer generation increases its demand for medical services, Spokane's healthcare industry is expected to continue to grow. Another targeted industry is the business and professional services sector. Additionally, its professional, scientific, and technical services subsector is another vital and growing component of the Spokane area economy. This sector contains many of the knowledge industries and offers good career opportunities with livable wages. As the global economy continues to become more digital and technologically based, many jobs within this sector are projected to have a steady demand, especially those requiring computer programming and software development skills. One of the top five targeted industries is Spokane's finance and insurance sector and offers the highest average annual wages of the five targeted industries. This sector's recovery from the recession has been led by the growth in the insurance agencies and brokerages, credit unions, and medical insurance carriers subsectors. As the regulatory environment continues to evolve in health insurance and financial activities, more jobs are expected to be created in order to manage the changing landscape. The increased property sales volume throughout the Spokane region in both commercial and residential real estate is also driving the job growth within the mortgage loan subsector, which was hit hard during the nationwide recession. Our fourth targeted industry was also hit hard during the recession, the manufacturing industry. This sector has rebounded with steady year-over-year job growth in the region, in part led by the aerospace manufacturing subsector, which now has more than 120 manufacturers, suppliers, distributors, and related organizations located throughout the Spokane region. Spokane has a unique mix of factors giving it a competitive advantage in the manufacturing sector. Low cost for utilities, low cost for land, a well-established school-to-work talent pipeline, and an easily accessible transportation network of air, rail, and road. The Spokane region is also strong in the manufacturing of medical equipment, wood, paper products, and metals. Many of those who are currently employed in the manufacturing industry are older in age, and developing a pool of talented workers to fulfill the expected replacement demand will be vital. As manufacturing increases, the need for transportation and storing of supplies and finished product increases as well. Transportation and warehousing offers competitive, livable wages and is a growing industry in the Spokane region. This report from last December illustrates which companies in each targeted industry were doing the most hiring and which positions within those companies were being filled. Feel free to pause the video and take in some of this information. Feel free to pause the video and take in some of this information. Once you have determined the occupation you would like to pursue, there may be additional education or training needed to make you hireable. To find out about education and training opportunities, head to careerbridge.wa.gov. Once there, click on Find Education. Then in the list of cities below, select Spokane, and then enter the desired job title in the search field. This will generate a list of available programs and schools that offer them, and the duration of those programs. There are educational options to help you get the training or education that you need. These include in-person or online options, programs, and classes to help you complete your GED or complete your diploma, brief programs to gain skills or certification. These can range from 1 quarter to 3 quarters in length, or short-term trainings. There are also in-depth programs available to facilitate career changes if you are looking to gain education in a new career field. If you find that your chosen field requires furthering your education or training, contact the Community College of Spokane. There are many options available to help fund this type of advancement. So it is just as important for you to find a company that you like as it is to find a company that likes you. But how exactly are you supposed to do that? Glassdoor.com is a great resource for researching what employees and former employees of a company are saying. You can also visit the company website for research. There's usually a link on the website that says About Us. This should contain their mission statement and possibly their vision for the company. It is important to make sure that the company you are going to work for has values that align with your own. If you haven't already, your next step should definitely be creating a WorkSource WA account to aid your job search. To take that step further, visit WorkSource Spokane and create a Career Quest account. The Career Quest tools helps job seekers navigate the career search process from start to finish. Landing the dream job requires research, preparation, and action. The Career Quest tool allows for customized participation based on the individual needs of each job seeker. The tool includes a planning guide, links to useful resources, job log trackers, information on WorkSource Spokane workshops, interviewing techniques, and tips for creating an effective resume. Create an account and start down the road to meaningful employment. Career Quest is an online virtual career coach. In conclusion, here's a few questions to think about from the information we covered today. What is something interesting that you learned about yourself? Go ahead and take a second and write this down. Next, what career match did you find interesting? This could be from the list of careers that matched your interests or the list that was populated based on your skills. And lastly, what is your next step in your job search? All right. Thank you for attending the Navigating Career Paths workshop. And if you decided on a career to look into and are interested in an assessment specific to that occupation, contact our assessments coordinator at WorkSource WS Spokane Assessment at esd.wa.gov, and the assessments coordinator can email you links to take assessments to specific occupations.
Thank you for watching this virtual workshop. If you have any questions about this course's content, please email the WorkSource Spokane workshop team at esdwsSpokaneWorkshopTeam@esd.wa.gov.